Tonight on Connecticut's news station, storms sweep across the state with flooding, a possible tornado, and even an explosion caused by lightning. We'll take you through it all.
And a woman infected by West Nile virus, the first Connecticut case this mosquito season. While the floodwater could mean more risk for virus and what you need to know to stay safe. Plus, some fishermen are getting just half a bloody fish in Connecticut waters tonight. We're getting an answer to the puzzling question making its way across social media. We talked to an angler surprised by what was at the end of his line. And many are getting their shopping lists ready for a week of no sales tax. But this year, there's more at stake with high inflation and struggling families. We're talking about the best deals before back to school season.
Now at 6, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
And good evening, and thanks for joining us for the news at 6. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. Wind and rain made its way across Connecticut this morning, bringing down trees and knocking out power to hundreds in Windham County.
Yeah, storm clouds have since moved out, but the town of Scotland is feeling the brunt of storm cells that triggered a tornado warning for our neighbors in Rhode Island.
Fox 61's Samaya Hernandez is in Scotland, where there could have been a possible tornado touchdown, but either way, there was still plenty of destruction.
We spent the day running into roadblock after roadblock like the one you see here behind me. Now, there was no tornado warning, but whatever did touch down certainly left an imprint here in Scotland. Route 14 in Scotland blocked. Crews tell Fox 61 a lightning strike took down 6 poles and 2 trees behind this roadblock.
I was just at my dad's house and I was just gonna go to the grocery store, try and get through.
Jordan Dolby slept through thunder and lightning Friday morning. Unaware hints of radar-indicated rotation moved through town, forcing a detour on Pitch Street.
Decided to move a couple cones out of the way and got stuck.
The Windham Center Fire Department says it responded to a report of a tree falling on a car. Brooklyn Turnpike also closed at several points for storm cleanup. Eversource sending crews out immediately after trees brought down power lines. More than 300 people left in the dark midday. After clouds moved out of Windham County,
the boxes you see over in Rhode Island, that's your tornado warning. That's a flood warning.
Fox 61 was live on air as the same cells triggered warnings in Rhode Island around 9 a.m.
Pink lemonade.
Yum. By late morning, summer was back and 8-year-old Raylan's lemonade stand opened for business.
Kind of sad and worried.
And then what happened?
And then the sun came out.
I do want to point out that Raylan is raising money for a dog rescue group, and that was all her idea. Now, meanwhile, the Weather Service is looking at pictures from Scotland and Windham, but has not yet determined if a tornado touched down. In Scotland, I'm Samaya Hernandez, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Thank you, Samaya. People across many communities are cleaning up, picking up the pieces after storms rolled through this morning. This was the scene at a home in Killingsworth. A propane tank caught fire and exploded during the storm. It happened at a home on Kelseytown Road. We spoke with the fire chief, who says lightning could be to blame.
The fire occurred during the height of the lightning storm that went through our area, so that is being considered as a possible reason for this, but as yet has not been determined.
Thankfully, no injuries were reported from the fire. Lightning strikes have caused issues all across Connecticut lately. Just this past weekend, a barn in Newtown was destroyed when it caught fire.
All right, time for our first look at the weather now. And yes, so Rachel, Frank, it was hairy out there, but we've got a nice weekend ahead, and that's where I'm focused.
Light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak, and it's been a long week of clouds, of humidity, of occasional showers and storms, and looking ahead to the weekend. Whoosh, the humidity leaving us and the sun coming out. 80 degrees right now in Hartford. I did want to show you there is one leftover shower here in Litchfield County, and it's fizzling as we speak. But still, we've got a front coming through, dropping the humidity. Look at the storm reports across the state today. Some high wind reports as well. And from Rhode Island through Massachusetts, several reported tornado touchdowns. The National Weather Service is on the ground there doing some surveys to determine the strength of these tornadoes. One one in Situate in Rhode Island, another one in North Attleboro, and then again in Weymouth. The National Weather Service has not said whether or not they will be on the ground in northeastern Connecticut around Scotland or Windham. They hope to make a designation or a decision on that by later today, but they are reviewing pictures and video right now. Radar, though, again, as we zoom out, is going to be mostly quiet heading through the evening tonight. Check it out. We are going to be nice and comfy by the time you watch the news later tonight at 10 and 11, and definitely as we head into the day tomorrow. An early fall feel out there. Sunshine mixing with afternoon clouds, cooler temperatures, but it's brighter and warmer for Sunday. Your full forecast coming up.
All right, Rachel, thank you. Meanwhile, the state of Connecticut is reporting its first human West Nile case of the year. The Department of Public Health saying a woman in her 50s from New Haven got sick at the end of July. She has since recovered. Health officials reminding residents to use bug spray, wear long pants and socks, and minimize time outside at dusk and dawn when mosquitoes are most active, especially after all this recent rain and flooding. And make sure you don't have any standing water around your home that attracts mosquitoes.
A witness finds a man trespassing on school property with a machete in Danbury. This happened Thursday at Ellsworth Avenue School. The witness told police they saw a man and a woman in the school's alleyway trying to jump the fence into the playground area. Before climbing, the man reportedly pulled out a machete. Both left the area after being confronted. 20-year-old Derek Sotelo has been arrested and is currently being held on $10,000 bond. Hartford police are investigating a shooting overnight. Police say a 17-year-old was shot on Brook Street just before 2 a.m. He was taken to the hospital with a gunshot wound to the lower leg. Police say his injuries are not life-threatening. Anyone with information should contact police.
And state police arrested a man driving the wrong way on Interstate 384 early this morning. Police say 21-year-old Bonifilio Ortiz Perez was driving drunk in an unregistered vehicle without a license or minimum insurance shortly after midnight near Exit 4 in Manchester. Right now, the state is taking steps to reduce wrong-way drivers by using newly granted funds to change signage and in some places install flashing lights. We're learning new details tonight about an untimely death investigation in Westport. Police say 56-year-old Jennifer Lindstrom was found at the bottom of her stairs by a housekeeper at her home on Oak Ridge Park yesterday. An autopsy is now being completed by the medical examiner, and the investigation is underway. And we know how many jobs now CVS Health plans to slash here in Connecticut. The company reports over 500 jobs in Hartford will be on the chopping block. CVS filed a report with the Department of Labor calling this a mass layoff at the company's facility on Farmington Avenue, which is the home of Aetna. CVS says a little more than 300 of those positions being cut are held by Connecticut residents. The others are held by people working remotely. The layoffs are expected to begin in October and will continue through the end of the calendar year.
One of the largest one-day festivals in New England, the Oyster Festival, is kicking off its 49th year in Milford. And tonight they're opening up Fowler Field for a pre-festival tradition, Oyster Eve, with the promise that all oysters sold are safe. Fox 61's New Haven County Bureau reporter Julie LeBlanc has more.
Tonight is like Christmas Eve here in Milford, except they call it Oyster Eve ahead of the big festival tomorrow. And event organizers are reassuring us, after concerns over eating raw shellfish, that these oysters being sold here are safe. The preparation for this shoreline staple takes a village and time.
We start in September.
This year's planning is paying off as they're expecting around 30,000 people to come to Milford from across the region.
To celebrate the water, the oysters, and to celebrate the community.
Volunteers like Jay Pinto behind the whole thing, offering families music, contests, food, and more, all while boosting local business.
So our purpose is to put on an event that allows them the ability to raise money and further their causes, show off the beautiful downtown Milford, the businesses.
So these are all pallets for the Oyster Fest.
And it's a local business that's supplying the tens of thousands of oysters for the festival. And the folks at Briar Patch Enterprises have this down to a science.
Ones we just harvested today that we just got from the dock. They're iced, they were in refrigeration on the truck, so they're already freezing cold.
Something Mike Duhame wants to reassure everyone after recent concerns over Vibrio vulnificus, a rare bacterial infection that can come from eating raw shellfish or being exposed to brackish water with an open wound. 3 Connecticut residents got infected, 2 died, but the health department says 2 were wound infections not associated with seafood, while the 3rd person reported eating raw oysters from out of state.
Everything we have from what you've seen in the cooler here, it's all iced, it's refrigerated from the time it gets off the boat. It's safe.
Something event organizers feel strongly about, and they don't think it'll have any impact on the turnout.
People that come here, they do come here for the oysters, and I think they're going to eat them. If we say they're safe, they're going to eat them.
Now, the state health commissioner says that nobody has ever gotten Vibrio from eating raw oysters from Connecticut. Now, as for this event, Oyster Eve, it goes until 10 o'clock tonight. Admission is $5, and for the big festival tomorrow, admission is free. We are in Milford. Julia LeBlanc, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Julia, thank you. And there's another reason to celebrate on the Milford Shore. Silver Sands State Park has been recognized by Travel and Leisure magazine. The popular publication made a list of all 50 states in their crown jewel parks, and they hailed Silver Sands the best here in Connecticut, saying it has a little bit of everything: acres of beach, woodlands, and dunes. They also pointed out the sandbar. You can walk across to Charles Island, which has lots of unique birds. That island closed May through November, though, for nesting season.